1970s America. A man who looked completely normal from the outside. He was respected in his community, owned a successful business, and people saw him as friendly and helpful. Sometimes, he even dressed as a clown at children's birthday parties, just to make them laugh. But behind that smile, there was a terrifying secret. His name was John Wayne Gacy, a man the world would later remember as the Killer Clown. John Wayne Gacy was born in 1942 in Chicago, USA. As he grew older, he started a construction company and became well known in his neighborhood. At local events and parties, he sometimes performed as a clown called Pogo the Clown. To everyone around him, he looked like a kind and normal person. But in 1972, his dark and horrifying crimes began. Gacy started targeting young men and teenage boys. He would often lure them to his house by offering them jobs or promising help. Once they entered his home, everything changed. He would torture his victims and eventually murder them. The most horrifying part was what he did after the killings. Gacy hid many of the victims' bodies under his own house. There was a small, hidden area beneath the floor called a crawl space. One by one, he buried the bodies there. For years, nobody suspected anything, because on the outside, Gacy still appeared friendly, successful, and normal. But in 1978, a teenage boy suddenly went missing. When police began investigating the case, their suspicion slowly led them to John Wayne Gacy. What they discovered inside his house shocked the entire country. Police started digging under the house, and soon they began finding bodies, one after another. In total, the remains of 33 victims were discovered. It became one of the most horrifying serial killer cases in American history. John Wayne Gacy was eventually arrested and found guilty in court. In 1994, he was executed. A clown whose job was supposed to make people laugh. But instead, he became one of the most terrifying killers in the history of America. This was the dark story of John Wayne Gacy, the Killer Clown,